Hi all, welcome to today's episode of Parker's Reefs. Today, not only will I be eating okra sponge and drinking iced coffee, but I'm going to be reviewing this Aquaforest Life Source. Okay, so I recently picked up this brand new in Australia Aquaforest Life Source. What is Life Source, you may ask? Well, it's a type of mud that they actually take from some coral reefs in Fiji. Why on earth would we want to put mud into our aquariums? It's a good question. I think quite often we tend to make our aquariums a little bit too sterile. We're very precise in what we put in, and as you can see by this picture here, mud and beaches always equals fun. But no, in all seriousness, I've got some footage here of when I was diving over in, actually this is in Cairns, and you can see that the environment's not quite as sterile as we have in our home aquariums. It has a lot of mud and a lot of minerals and organics and nutrients can be found in this mud, which could well be of benefit to our tanks. It's difficult to say whether it is beneficial, but I can say that where they take this mud from, the coral reefs are doing really well. So as I currently have no mud in my tank, I was pretty keen to give this stuff a shot, and you can see that it quite literally is a mud. It comes in quite wet, which is strange and odd, but also kind of exciting. I must admit, at first I was thinking this was like a flocculant that would bind other things together to make it easier to skim out. Doesn't appear to be the case at all. It definitely seems to be some organics and some nutrients to add into the tank. So I guess until I built some confidence in it, I wanted to put this into my soft coral tank just to test the waters, I guess you'd say. So following the instructions, I grabbed the spoon. My soft coral tank's a Red Sea Max 130, so it should, according to the instructions, it should be one scoop, which is 10 milliliters per 100 liters. So you can see here I've got just over one scoop really, being 130 liters, that should be pretty accurate. And I'm just going to mix that with some tank water. I've got half a liter of tank water here just to mix it in first to make it easier to spread around. Otherwise it literally is a clump of mud that you just drop in your tank, which is fine if you want to put it into like a refugium or something, but I'm going to pour this straight into my display. So I want it fairly well diluted, I guess, just so that we can get all those organics and microfauna and whatever else there is in there to spread around the tank and get the most out of the corals. So you can see here I've just got a big turkey baster, and I'm just going to swirl it around and get this stuff to dissolve and mix up so that it's going to spread around the tank easier. The instructions say that you should pour this into a high flow area of the tank, or as mentioned before, you can drop it into like a refugium base where it'll just sort of the water passing by will continuously, I guess, have access to the top layer of that and slowly dissolve it away. So I've got my scoop here. I'm just going to pop this bag of mud away. Just I'm kind of hesitant of it drying out, I guess. You get quite a fair bit. It's a big tub in the container. So I want it to last a bit longer. The instructions do say you should do this one scoop per 100 litres at least once a week. I can tell that I'll be doing it probably once a fortnight. So that tub should last me quite a long time. But yeah, that's probably enough mixing. Let's get this stuff into the tank. All right, so this is my soft coral tank. Apologies for the colour of the lights at the moment. This is still fairly early morning. So the lights have only just switched on. I've got my half litre mix of mud, and I'm just going to open the lid on this tank and pour it straight into the high flow section, which is basically right in front of the pump. And you can see, don't panic, it's okay, it's meant to cloud up. This is what this stuff does. I'm just slowly pouring it right into the Tunzi pump there. You can see it clouds everything up really quickly. And then I'll just use the jug just to stir that through a little bit more. So the tank is getting to the point where you can barely see in there. That being said, the fish don't seem to be too stressed. They're still doing their usual thing. My big female clown's just swimming near an M. She's happy. And for your convenience, I will give you a bit of a time lapse. From what I'd seen online, this should clear up within an hour or two in the tank. When I followed the recommended dose in this tank, it stayed cloudy all day. It did get better, and we'll get to that time lapse. This time lapse shows the corals actually responding pretty well. They're opening up, and everything's doing as you'd expect. This tank's full of just soft coral and LPS, plus a bunch of rose bubble tip anemones, which all seem quite happy in there. But yeah, is worth bearing in mind that this time lapse has taken over about 5 hours, and the tank, whilst it started to clear up, it was still cloudy at the end. Alright, I've done my soft coral tank with one scoop into 130 litres. I've now mixed up a slightly stronger batch. It took all day for the soft coral tank to clear up, so I've done a half strength batch. I've got 3 scoops into a 900 litre tank, and yeah, we'll see how we go. So I'm just going to pour it into a high flow area. Alright, we'll see how we go. Hopefully by morning the tank should be nice and clear. Interestingly, in this tank, the fish did seem to notice a little bit more. They're a little bit relaxed here after half an hour. But when I first poured it in, some of the bigger fish did freak out a little bit, and all went into their little, normally their bed spots. I guess maybe they just thought it was a bit darker. And all my schooling fish all joined up together, almost like they felt they were under threat. So yeah, it was kind of interesting to see. You can see some of the big guys hanging around the back here, but they're starting to loosen up and come out. And you can see, yeah, no ill effects on any of the corals. They're all looking fine. Top-down view is a bit hard to see much here. It's all pretty dark. You can see the Monties up in that corner. They're sort of glowing pretty bright and have good polyp extension. But yeah, let's have a look and see how things look in the morning, and we'll go from there. Alright, here's my soft coral tank the next day. Excuse the jittery footage. This is just taken on my GoPro holding by hand, just so I can get you into the tank. You can see everything's looking nice and clear. The coral and fish are all happy. The only noticeable difference I saw, apart from things probably being a bit more open than usual, which is always a good sign, was my rose bubble tip anemones went from 6 to 7 overnight, which I don't know, could be coincidence, might not be. They're all looking very happy today though, so I'm going to put it down to something in the life source there that they were looking for or wanting. Either way, these are pretty exotic anemones in Australia, so there's me looking at the camera, so I'll take that as a win. Alright, so onto my main display. You can see it's not the big cloud that it was yesterday. It's all cleared up, and all coral and fish are looking happy. They're all swimming around doing their thing. Yeah, I have noticed a little bit of polyp extension, probably improvement. It's difficult to say any colour, but things are looking good, which is always a good sign. I'll dunk the GoPro into the tank so we can have a look at the colour, which is always cool. Here we go. You'll have to excuse the shaky footage, but it's the only way we can really get up and close with the video. You can see some of the colours are fantastic, and although it's a little bit hard for the GoPro to focus there, some polyp extension, particularly on that red Monty there. It's really furry there, and that Monty's not normally that furry, so it's in a good position, which, you know, it's difficult to say there's going to be a dramatic change overnight from using a product for the first time, but things are looking good. They're definitely not looking worse. Are they looking better? I'm not 100% convinced, but possibly. And considering that in the soft coral tank, I got an extra rose bubble tip anemone, I'm happy with that. You said that Rick's got plenty of nice colour, and this Duncan's looking good too. It's always pretty furry, but yeah, they're sort of like growing on top of each other at the moment, which is always good. My Joker Acro is looking as vibrant as ever. In fact, the little purple extensions there are probably more purple than they usually are, so that's looking good. Took a couple of frags off that after taking this video, just before taking this video, because it was looking so nice. Try to get some footage here of the Dallas. You can see, yeah, that section there is really nice and bright. Where it's got, that was kind of where I poured the mud, so maybe I should put more in. So I guess I need to give a bit of a summary and sort of wrap up this review, I guess. So Aquaforest Life Source. It's a strange product. It's mud that you pour into your tank, and it's difficult to test or tell what it's actually adding to your tank or taking away from your tank or assisting growth of in your tank. I'm not sure. No one's really sure. I used it once in 2 of my tanks. I got a what would be in Australia a $650 anemone, just multiplied overnight. So it paid itself off very quickly. In my SPS tank, some of my My colonies were looking as nice as they ever have, so I grabbed a bunch of frags, again paying itself off very quick. So I'm inclined to say it's a pretty cool product. Would I dose the recommended amount once a week? No. I'm going to continue to dose probably a third to a half of the recommended dose every second week. We'll see how that goes, but therefore that just makes the product better value. So yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think, and if you have any questions or any feedback, feel free to put in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Cheers, guys.